What is up, everybody? Shiv here. Alright, so today we're going to be taking a look at another Designer Insights with Ben Brode. Now, before we start this, I'm just going to tip my hat off at Ben Brode. Here's a man who literally has taken it upon himself to be kind of like the public social face, of the development team for Hearthstone. And for that, he's caught a lot of flack, myself included in the endless mobs of angry crybabies and entitled little fucks out there who just give him nothing but shit. But you know what? I can recognize the fact that this man has a really tough job. He's got to work on this game. He's got to make this content, interact with the media, and where does he have free time? Seriously, I feels bad, man. All right, so I empathize with you, Ben. I really do empathize with you. However, that's not going to save you from any harsh criticism. But just understand that I get you, man. I get it. I do. I really do. But he's done a remarkable job, and throughout these Designer Insights, he's said some pretty fucking impactful stuff that's made me respect him more and more every time. So let's see if this trend is going to continue. Alright, so the topic is going to be content updates. Oh no, I kind of have an idea where this is going. I haven't watched this yet, so let's check it out.
Greetings, my name is Ben Brode, and I wanted to talk today about this phenomenon in developer community interaction that I've noticed like a couple times happen in the history of Hearthstone. I've seen it happen with other games, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about my perception of what I'm seeing and why I think it's happening and how maybe together we can make it better.
Okay, I think I know what he's going to be talking about. I'm not 100% sure. But I like the process that he's looking to do here. Identify the problem, right? Identify why the problem exists or what's causing the problem, and look for the solution. That's pretty much problem solving 101. So, yeah. Alright, so he's going about this the correct way, and alright, props, awesome. Let's continue.
So here's what I'm seeing.
Here's what I'm seeing. Is that a fucking Apple Watch? Sellout Sam confirmed.
There are periods of time during development where there isn't a lot of news coming out about what's happening. We had an expansion, and it's been a while. Are you guys just doing nothing because there's no new news? What's happening? And
can I be the first to say that Ben should seriously be like on television? Those facial expressions are fucking great. But going on to the topic here, yeah, this happens quite often, and this is exactly what I thought it was. All right, so I'm gonna break this down, and I'm gonna be perfectly blunt, honest about it. Consumers in general are extremely entitled. They figure, well, I pay you money, you should give me what I want. Again, making money to be the all-powerful driving motivator behind everything. And let's not fucking lie, it really is. You need it to live, you need it to get the shit you want, and so on and so on and so on. It actually has more intrinsic value than human life in some places. So, yeah. Not overly surprising that in a first world country you're going to get these issues. True fact. So, yeah, I will admit that the Hearthstone community is a little bit of an entitled, spoiled brat. Alright, they make a huge amount of complaints, demands, and this, that, and the other. Now, I'm not going to say that not all of those are unfounded, not all of those are sensible, and not all of those are, completely unreasonable. Matter of fact, most of them are completely founded, reasonable, and justifiable. It's just the way some people go about it might be a little toxic, myself included. Now, I've called out Ben Brode many a times. Many a fucking times about some of the shit that still exists in this game. Some of the shit that makes absolutely no sense. And how sometimes it feels like they're not really taking this game seriously. A couple examples here is the little wheel that spins around as you're going into the game. No matter what system I've tried to play this game on, whether it be a phone, tablet, my shitty ass AMD system, top end Intel, and when I say top end Intel, we're talking completely liquid cooled i7, 32 gigs of RAM, running a fucking Titan X on an SSD, and that wheel kept stalling to the point where I thought the game was actually crashing. Alright? That has been there since fucking CBT. What the fuck? And don't even get me started about spectator mode, because that thing is... And you've had some real public, fiascos because of that. And I would think that after that those things would have gotten fixed. Okay. And now this isn't even talking about, balance and meta and things of that nature, which generally makes up a huge amount of the complaints that they get. I mean, my God, the amount of stuff they got about Patron Warrior and Warsong Commander was epic. And the amount of shit they're getting now about Mysterious Challenger is also approaching that level pretty fucking quickly, because you want to talk about a card that has too much fucking value? Fuck shit. Mind Control and Pyroblast didn't have near as much value as fucking that card does, and you nerfed the shit out of them. And what's even worse is those were spells. This is a fucking minion. That's even worse. It even has more power than the fucking Dr. Boom. The god of fucking power spike. It is more powerful than Dr. Boom. And I'll say that right now. It's more powerful than Dr. Boom. Alright? It truly is. But, I digress. A lot of times, we give, the developers, and specifically Ben Brode, since he has put himself out on Front Street to take all this criticism, a lot of shit, myself included. I'll be the first to admit it. I do give this man a lot of shit. He doesn't deserve nearly as much as I give him. And I've tried to tone it down. I really have. But sometimes, you get in that game and, you see this shit happening and you go, there's no fucking counter to this. There's no, good play. It's just mitigating, the least worst possible play. And it feels so horrible. It is so frustrating, especially when it's the most popular design out there. So you tend to rage and bitch all over the fucking Twitter sphere, and you make yourself look like a little bitch in the process. And I'll admit it, I look like a little bitch when I whine about it. And, he has to sit there and he reads it. Now, he probably says, oh, shit, glossing over it. No, fuck him, no. I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame you at all, sir. Wouldn't blame you at all. But, it is one of those things that definitely happens. Now, I'm just one person. Now, Hearthstone has, millions. I think it's 10 million some odd players or, things of that nature. So imagine 10 million versions of me. Yeah, that's fucking daunting. Even I don't want to do that. At that point, it's no, fuck it. Meteor hit the earth. I'm done. Alright? I don't even want to deal with one of me, let alone 2 to 10 million. So I can completely understand why this might be frustrating. But, yeah, so when they get new content, right, and we get it, we're fucking crack addicts when it comes to this game, alright? It's oh my God, we got this new content, it's so great, I get to play with new shit, right? We're on a high. We're on this great fucking endorphin rush high of playing this new shit because it's something new, we haven't gotten to play with it, whatever. We all love it. And we get to that high, and we hold that high for about a month, and then it starts fading off. Right? And then at about month 2.5, we're back to a base zero. It's alright, yeah, well, I guess I get to look forward to what's ever coming up. Now, like any addict, there's no slow progression into that negative. No, it's okay, I'm back to normal. Crash. So a week later, it's when's the new content? When do I get new shit? There's no counter to this fucking Mysterious Challenger, man. Only fucking hunters have a fucking counter. It's a horrible counter because you fucking nerfed that too. True fact. And this is kind of the, the mindset of the players. I mean, we are fucking crack addicts. Alright? We're looking for that fix. We're looking for that. So what do? Do we just sit there and wait, or we express our desires of what we'd like to see in the next expansion? Fuck no! We're entitled little bastards. So what do? We bitch, whine, moan, hey, you guys are fucking up, man. I saw you taking pictures on a boat with a bunch of players, man. What the fuck are you doing? Get back in the fucking office. Fix your fucking game. True fact. That's pretty much how we act. All right, let's let Ben speak for a while, because I've made an ass out of myself now.
It feels like the week before we're getting ready to announce something, somebody will say, guys, I'm pretty sure the Hearthstone team is lazy. And
Okay, going back to the whole boat comment, I never said you were lazy. I just said, what the fuck? There's serious problems in this game, and you think it's a good idea to go on a boat trip? Fail fish.
they're doing nothing, and they're just, just having fun and goofing off and not making anything because we haven't heard any news. And
Again, if you don't interact with your community more regularly, that's going to happen. All right? Especially when your community is filled with a bunch of consumers who are fucking more entitled than, a rich person not being able to get, like, their preferred mineral water or some shit. I don't know. I'm poor, so I wouldn't know how rich people act. But... when it comes to entitlement, video gamers take the fucking cake. I'm not even gonna lie. We fucking take the cake. We are the most entitled, spoiled little bastards of any society, right? We look at these things as these monumental fucking problems, but they're first world problems, people. Get the fuck over it. There are people starving in countries, being executed for religious beliefs. There's bombs dropping on children, and yet all we care about is when we're gonna get a new content expansion. Fuck shit, perspective. Fucking perspective, people.
And also, feels like about a lot of packs, we should be having the things that I want. We should be having deck slots and tournament mode and whatever it is that each particular person is passionate about.
I like how he soft-touched the fact that we're entitled and didn't actually go forth and say, you're a bunch of entitled fucks. He soft-touched it. All right? Very well done, sir. Very well done. And yeah, a lot of people actually feel like because we've spent this money, we deserve these things. You don't deserve shit, motherfucker. Read your terms of service, alright? Seriously. You are allowed to play this game under the privilege that Blizzard allows you to have, okay? Seriously. But, yeah, I mean, some of those things would be really cool, but let's be honest. That shit takes time to develop. It really does. Alright?
Where are those things? It's been years. Where are those things? And there's no news coming out. So that's the message that sometimes happens, kind of that comes out like in these off-cycle. We release an expansion or adventure or something, and then a few months go by, and right before the next one hits, or before the announcement season and the spoiler season happens, there's this feeling of restlessness, and I think mostly it stems from.
Before I let him finish this, I'd like to point out one little thing about the fucking deck slots. Okay. They've been asking for more deck slots since CBT. Now, the rumor mill about this is the guy who was responsible for that part of the UI left your company. Okay? Now, I don't subscribe to rumors, and I did use this one, and that was my bad, and I apologize, but if this was something that you knew the community wanted so much, would you not have shelved things like skins and put more effort into getting that? And you could have sold that shit. Fuck. I know fucking a ton of players that would have paid you $5 for another 10 slots, or fucking $10 for 10 slots. I'll pay a fucking $1 a slot. I don't really give a fuck. I'd do it. Bam, take my money. Take my money! We want to throw it at you at this point, and fucking make that shit rain. But no, fuck. It seems like the priorities are slightly skewed there. And they gave us something that nobody really asked for versus something that we've been begging for. You kind of see that problem there. It's like, well, we've been asking for this, and you give us this. And then when we constantly bring this up, and then you go and do interviews with, like, different podcasts and news publications, one of the statements you made is more deck slots would be confusing to players. We took that as a huge slight to us, all right? Because if you haven't figured out, there's some really smart fucking players in this goddamn game. Some of them design games of their own. Fucking Brian Kibler, for fuck's sake, all right? Some of them are Magic professionals transitioning over. Stan Sifka is one. All right, we got poker pros coming into this game. We got 2 of them now. Life coach and that other guy who likes to dress up in cosplay as a demon from World of Warcraft. I can't remember his name. God forbid Forgive me. I'm sorry. He's German, I know, but that's about all I remember. Okay, so yeah. We got some pretty talented, pretty intelligent people. Some of the smartest people I've ever met in terms of general conversation have been from Hearthstone. All right? So when you make statements like that, that to me is... I mean, we're not talking about your average CSGO fan. We're not talking about your average Madden fan. We're not talking about your average, insert game, whatever here. Hearthstone has a really dedicated, intellectual fucking fan base, dude. Alright? We are the fucking geeks of the geeks, because card gaming has always been one of those, wow, you're super geek. Alright? Even D&D guys went, fuck off. So, yeah. But, we did take a little bit of offense to that. And that's why it's always going to be a topic you're going to get slapped with. But I have faith in you, Ben. I have faith in you. I have faith that this is going to be resolved this year. 2016, I have faith, is going to be the year that the deck slot issue is fixed and the spinning wheel will eventually be fixed. All right, but let's continue to let him finish.
A lack of communication on our side. And sometimes... it's hard to avoid the lack of communication. I'll give you an example. Before we announced Tavern Brawl, this happened where players were saying, hey, it's been a long time. There hasn't been anything new features added to the game. It's just been content, but where are all our new features? And we had been working super hard on Tavern Brawl for many, many months. We actually started working on Tavern Brawl before we shipped Hearthstone, if you can believe that. That's how long we had been iterating on the idea and thinking about ways to do it, and so it had been in the works for just a really long time.
Now, I'm going to touch on this. You know what? It's kind of funny. Tavern Brawl did come out of, surprise nowhere. Nobody knew anything about it. They kept that shit under wraps fucking legit. But I don't remember anybody bitching about it, because we just had BRM, if memory serves. Yeah, we just had BRM. We were all high on BRM. We were high on that. And then, we had Tavern Brawl, and then shortly thereafter we had the Grand Tournament. So, I mean, we had a really good cycle of content and stuff to do. So, right there, that whole period from BRM to TGT, that was, one of the most complaint-free, with the exception of fuck you patron, that I had seen in a long fucking time. Alright? So, yeah, I think, you guys did okay on that one. I think you did really okay on that one. But, I kind of see where he's going at with this. I honestly do.
And, but it felt from the outside, if you're on the outside of the company looking in, it felt like nothing was happening. And if you're passionate about Hearthstone and you want awesome stuff, it feels kind of sucky. Feels like, hey, what's going on? So it's reasonable to feel that way, actually. But the problem we had...
Oh, Ben, no. You just told the entitled that they're allowed to feel entitled. Fuck.
Was we had a big plan for announcing Tavern Brawl and then releasing Tavern Brawl. We don't want those to be too far apart. We kind of messed up actually with Naxx. We announced it much earlier than we had. Was wise, I think. We should have announced it much closer to release.
Yeah, there isn't 1,001 memes and a continual Twitch meme about Naxx is out. Yeah, seriously, that was the longest 3-month process of my life was, and you can go back, I actually did video coverage of every single card release when they was alright, so here's what else is coming from Naxx. Yeah. So, but they've gotten so much better about it. You look at GVG, you look at TGT, you look at BRM, you look at League of Explorers. We got all that information really quick. With League of Explorers, it was oh yeah, we're doing this new thing. It's called League of Explorers. By the way, here are all the cards. I mean, I was oh dude, come on! I was hoping for a little build up. Alright. I understand not wanting to prolong it too much, but a little bit of build-up is good, because you have to have some sort of hype. You basically was yeah, here we go. You deflated the hype, even though it's probably one of your most powerful fucking adventures yet. I honestly think you did it a little injustice by not stretching out the reveal process just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not entirely too much, but just a little bit more, alright? You know, just a little bit. But other than that, I'm really liking the fact that you guys have been learning from your mistakes of Naxx, and you've been showing that every single time. TGT obviously was a little bit of a learning curve, and that was still a little too long, but you had so many more cards to give out. But then when we got to, actually no, GVG was a learning curve. TGT, when we got to there, that was a lot less drawn out, and it was actually about perfect for the amount of cards you were releasing. So I applaud that. I really do. So you did a very good job on that. All right.
And it kind of made people say, like, oh, I'm tired of waiting. Just give me the next Ramis. Like, what's the holdup? And so there's, you know, we announce things too early, and it kind of, you're over it by the time it actually happens. So there's a good time to announce things, and talking about it months and months in advance. Well, first of all, things could change if it's far enough out. We changed kind of the idea and the details behind Tavern Brawl many times in the years that we were working on it before it shipped. And so what's the point of telling the community, hey, we're thinking about doing this thing, but actually it doesn't end up happening? Like, okay, we're thinking about this, and it didn't end up happening either.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, you kind of get our hopes up, and then you crush them. That's a great way of destroying your fucking game real quickly, all right? You know, like, I'm going to harp on another Blizzard title here. Diablo 3. When that thing was released, a lot of things that we had heard previously before that was going to be in it, PvP, this, that, and the other, did not happen. Really hurt the game. Now, it has actually become a really good game because they've had to go back, re-scrap, and redo, and fix a lot of shit, and they took a lot of user input for that. They really did. The whole Paragon system is fucking proof of that shit right there. So, yeah, listening to your community is always a good thing to some degree. Not overselling something is even better. So I applaud you on that, Ben. You're absolutely 100% correct.
And especially if for some reason it sounds really cool and awesome, but then it's like, oh, you know what, it's actually kind of hackable and exploitable, so we're not going to do it. It's like, what? That sounded amazing. Why didn't you just do that? And now we're disappointing players? I mean, that's not a great strategy. That, you know, it's much better to under promise and over deliver than it is to over promise and under deliver. There's no reason to make players upset at us for not doing these cool things that we think we might do someday, but don't end up being unable to do, or some other reason. So,
yeah, trust me, players are going to be upset with you no matter fucking what, because, you know, they feel like their favorite class is getting smited. They perceive power creep imbalances that, okay, Mysterious Challenger is a fucking power creep imbalance that should not exist, but I don't want to get onto that too much. I think I've already beaten that horse to death and resurrected it and beaten it to death again. But yeah, players are generally very entitled, so you're going to catch flack no matter what. It goes back to the old adage, you can make some of the people happy all the time, and you can make all the people happy some of the time, but you can't make both of them happy all the time. So, yeah. I know I paraphrased the shit out of it, but fuck off.
There's a time that is right to announce things, I think. And it's sometimes, unfortunately, leaves these gaps where it feels like nothing's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not overly surprised when you look at how Hearthstone plays. It's literally, you know, a game of power spikes throughout the curve and, you know, dead zones throughout the curve. And then, you know, one last big spike for the win. So are you really surprised that you're getting the same kind of sine wave for, like, information and or content release? Are you? No. I mean, it's a weird kind of symmetry on that, but it's just the way it is. So I'm not overly surprised by that.
So next time we have a lull in development cycle. And actually, Tavern Brawl's solving this a little bit, because every week there's at least something new and exciting and different about Hearthstone. Or, you know, almost every week. Sometimes we repeat old Tavern Brawls, but that at least makes Hearthstone feel fresh, even when no new content or new features are coming out. But even when that's not happening, we are working on tons of stuff. Even just since the launch of Hearthstone just a couple of years ago. we've done 2 new platforms, iPad and iPhone. We've done many adventures and expansions. We've done spectator mode and tavern brawl and tons of other features and bug fixes.
And also, I'd like to point out they've also been, they did the skins, which I'm pretty sure he doesn't cover in this because that'd be a little too sellout. They did the skins, and I do know for a fact that they had prototypes for more than just the few skins that they released. All right, as it stands, you got one for the mage, one for the warrior, one for the hunter. They actually had ones for all of them. All right, and they were prototype this, that, and the other, and they kind of haven't done much with that. I think we're probably going to see some more of those this year, right? I think we're going to see some more of them this year. I know one of them that they're looking for like Paladin was the Draenei guy. They might change that to a Blood Elf one. I mean, there's a lot of good characters that they could easily pull from the lore of WoW. But yeah, you get what I'm saying here. So they do go through a huge amount of testing process, guys. All right, it's not like they just said, "Hey, let's do this. Here we go." Put it out there and say, give us your money, all right? They do a lot of work, a lot of testing. Just for like a new hero skin, you got to get somebody in the studio, you got to record all the things, and that's going to take several iterations of each one just to find that right, perfect one. And then, once you get all that, you got to fucking implement it in. It's a little bit more than just new skins, all right? It really is.
And so we're doing stuff, and we have so many things planned for the future of Hearthstone. But it's not always the right time to announce that cool new stuff. But we're never far away from the next cool announcement. So whenever you're frustrated with the development team and feel like they're not doing that thing that they should be doing, like deck slots.
The biggest complaint he's received in 2+ years.
The truth is we're working on them, and they're not so far away, and there's just so many things that we want to do, and we want to get things right. We iterate way more than I think most people realize. There's a great talk by Tarek Sakamoto that he did at GDC, where he just kind of shows like tons of UI iterations that we did. I mean, we did so many versions of the collection manager, of the game field, because we just want to get it right. We care so much about the quality of what we put out there that we do a lot of iteration on it. So,
as a consumer, I will tell you right now, I would much rather have quality over quantity. So, thank you. Thank you very much. Because we, the consumers, actually do care about those things, all right? We care about, the sounds that the minions make. We care about, like, the emotes and this, that, and the other. Which, by the way, props for the fucking new emotes when we have the seasonal things. I'd love to see more of that shit. Because, Happy Feast of Winter Veil was the most trolly fucking emote ever. Thank you.
Yeah, it's frustrating when you're not hearing, what's the next cool thing? Where are these features that are very important to us? How come you're not making them and putting them out there? It sounds like you're not even working on them. And the truth is the opposite of that. We are working on them. We care about great features, and we have many that are in the pipe at any one time. So, even though we're not announcing it, I think we could be doing better at this type of thing, actually. I think that doing this type of thing, letting people know that there are people here, and we are passionate about the game, and we want it to be awesome because we play it every night also. That I think helps a little bit. So, maybe that little insight will help in some way. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.
Okay, so basically, hey guys, we really are working. We got a lot of cool stuff. We can't really talk about it right now. Here's some examples of, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 to justify this, that, and the other, whatever. And, please, 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 please stop beating up on us. We are here. We are working. Please calm down. No riot. No picnic. Yeah, okay. Ben, we all know that you guys are hardworking. We get that. What you are getting is our general frustration at some of the inequalities in the game. And there's been a huge amount of inequalities in this game throughout the history of it, all right? So let's go down the list here. Pyroblast was an issue, you fixed. Mind Control was an issue that basically held back anything that was 8 mana or higher, you fixed. Sylvanas was a little too relevant, you fixed. Unleash the Hounds, I don't agree with how you fixed it, but... And it ended up leading to even more problems, but you fixed it. Freeze Mage suddenly became a dominant force, you fixed it. Ish. Warsaw Commander was an issue. You half-ass fixed it. Then later on fixed it completely. Thank you. Undertaker was an issue. Fixed. Thank you. And now we get to this next cycle, and where it's pretty much sitting at is like there's one card that I think like almost everybody would unanimously agree is a problem, and that's going to be Mysterious Challenger. Now there's two ways you could obviously fix that. One, take that fucker up to a fucking legendary, which would be ideal, and or two, change its costing, change its stat line, change what it does somewhat. Or three, yeah, I said there was two, but there's actually three. Or three, introduce more neutral anti-secret options. I mean, as it stands, there's Flare, which, yeah, it gets rid of everything, and it's 2 mana, but you still got a 6/6 on the board to deal with. And, short of having a wild Pyromancer and a Hunter's Mark and Flare in your hand to deal with, I mean, you're talking about a 3-card option just to be able to, ensure that shit. That's a little bit difficult. It really is, because that deck is way too efficient in keeping minions on the board. Obviously, Brawl's another great one that works too, but not overly great. But yeah, Mysterious Challenger is definitely something of a problem in the meta. It's just way too relevant. When I play a game and 75% of the matchups I get are fucking Paladin, and it's the same deck over and over again, that tells me that there's something slightly broken about that deck design. And it's all the Mysterious Challenger. It really is. It literally takes the shittiest fucking secrets in the game and makes them a powerhouse because they're all up at one time. And individually, they're horrible, but combined together, it's like the Mighty Morphin power, go fuck yourself. So, yeah. Kind of sucks. Now, will this ever actually happen? Probably not. As much as I'd love for it to happen, probably won't. But with new expansions comes new opportunities for them to change the playing field, alright? So they could introduce a new counter to this. And in all honesty, I would much rather they go that route. As much as I hate Mysterious Challenger, I would much rather they come up with new content that counteracts the abusive and oppressive playstyle of that deck versus just coming by with a fucking hammer and slamming the shit out of it. I would much rather see that, alright? But in all honesty, Ben, you really shouldn't have to take as much shit as you do. And as much shit as I give you, I apologize. I'm still going to do it, but, Yeah, I know, that kind of makes that apology hollow. But at the same time, as a consumer, if I'm not expressing my elation and disdain for certain things within a product that I buy, then you as the developer will not have a very good, fair, and check balance of, it's like, okay, this works, this doesn't work. All right, that's just part of that consumer-producer dynamic there. So, I mean, yeah, we could all be a little bit more polite about it. We could all not be so brutally harsh on the developers of the game, and I'll be the first to admit, yes, we all could. All right? But you also got to realize that a lot of us, we take our frustrations out because, we think we're a lot better than we are, and then when we're constantly seeing the same thing over and over and over again, and yet we're not hearing anything about, we're kind of watching this because it seems a little too strong. Because we've heard that about other cards, but yet we haven't heard about some of the ones that we honestly think are a little too strong. It kind of makes us feel a little, shitty. Makes us feel a little hurt. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm going to say this right now. Ben, you did a really good job. All right? And everybody, chill out. All right? Look at the month. We're almost in February. All right? If you do a simple little math, we got a new expansion, card pack expansion, most likely coming up here very soon because they want to alternate. I doubt they're going to give us another adventure mode. All right? I doubt they're going to give us another adventure mode. They'll probably give us 2 packs and an adventure mode, so we'll probably get a pack coming up here soon, and then an adventure mode, and then a pack. We might see some more new cool features added to the game, and he's alluding to. I honestly believe we're going to get deck slots in 2016. I'm going to make that prediction now. We're going to get deck slots 2016. I also predict we're probably going to get 3 new skins in 2016. Trying to think, what else could they add it? Maybe even tournament lobby. Maybe. I'm not going to hold my breath on tournament lobby. All right? Though that would be something cool to pop out right before the fucking seasonal championships. All right? But, yeah, all in all, leave Ben alone. He's doing his best. Till next time, this is Shiv saying, stay safe, have fun, and if you like these videos, please like and subscribe. Till next time, peace.